Hello, my loves. I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on this channel. We're talking about radical transformation and healing and rebuilding of our life after narcissistic abuse. I use a multi-dimensional approach, which means we're dealing with this, and the reason it's so rapid, spiritually, emotionally, physically, psychically and energetically, because narcissistic abuse is a multi-dimensional attack, and when you deal with it on all levels, you heal really fast. And I also do, and I'm running a program called Sovereign right now. I would suggest you coming into that because it's running at the moment. It's really good. So that I also teach people the right balance to use. We've got an industry that is over emphasizing the psychology of things and under-emphasizing our emotional and energetic bodies. And the most rapid way to healing is to know the root cause of something and the right tool. So in my modality, what I've got is a very good balance that's very effective of the right spiritual tools and awareness, the energetic and emotional awareness, and psychology. You can tell I know a lot about psychology, but I don't overdo that one. I think the industry is doing 90% psychology when that's the wrong balance. So in Sovereign, there's not a ton of work. There is stuff to do, but like it's the balance that counts. Yeah, and people shift very quickly. So if you'd like to come into that, I highly suggest it, because I'm running it right now. I don't know if I'll reopen it straight away again. It's worthwhile if you want to go deeper in this work. There are some things you need to be in a container for. It's deeper work. I can't just, it needs to be supported. I've got very strong integrity in my work. But I want to talk about the narcissist apology and what to know. If you're dealing with a true narcissist, I just, honestly, it blows my mind. Their apology is fake. It's fake. They know what they did to you. They know it hurt you. It was intentional. It's another area where they get to have one up on you. They believe they're entitled to your resources, your life force energy, to completely dehumanize, objectify, and siphon everything from you. Many people are talking about the identity theft. Yep, they steal your identity. And it's like these subtle ways of, not so subtle to you, but like devaluing you. Yeah, saying that they can take anything from you. You're not even allowed your own identity, because it's an identity attack. It's a spiritual attack and an identity attack, as well as everything else. Nervous system attack, emotional attack. So the apology is fake. So you've got to know that. And when you fall for it, it's a power play, like everything with a narcissist is. They got one over on you. My ex-partner was 14 years older than me. He spent his time, after heavily abusing me, manipulating me, siphoning from me, then running smear campaigns to really bully and harass me. A grown man with 2 grown children who plays the victim, malignant, covert narcissist. And wasting a woman's time, leading her into a complete bizarre illusion at some of the final childbearing years of her life. That's immoral, corrupt. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the stories he's telling. And if there's any apology, which is only going to come at a desperate stage when nothing else has worked, so they think, how else can I exploit someone's heart and emotions? If you want to manipulate a decent human being, then play on their heartstrings. And me, as a highly sensitive empath, I'm sure a lot of you are very empathetic, play on our heartstrings, right? This is why you've got to learn what I'm teaching you. We want to believe the best in people, but we're not facing the truth. So the apology is a power play. And their smugs, I've talked about the narcissistic smirk and the stare. Stare is, I'm getting data on how I can exploit you. The smirk is, I'm enjoying this. In fact, when you're really in pain, they do the stare again. They kind of receive the energy, your pain. They're siphoning your life force. It is sick. They know exactly what they've done. They intended to do it. Everything they do is about strategy. They're the most strategic entities. It's all a setup and a scheme, really, really intentional. They know it and they get off on it. It turns them on. They are very, very spiritually sick creatures. Well, spiritually devoid, soul-detached entities cooperating with an entity of consciousness, which is narcissism, which is a destruction energy on the planet. So if you fall for their apology, they believe they've got one up on you. They're laughing at you behind the scenes. They're smirking at you. In fact, in the smear campaign, they're probably telling their new supply how pathetic you are, because they've painted a picture of you that isn't the truth. They've painted a picture of you that makes them the victim a lot of the time if they're covert, or that you're crazy. If they're more on the overt, you'll probably be called crazy more. If they're covert, they'll be the victim. Everything they did to exploit you will be what you are. Yeah, they've pillaged your resources. They've got in the way of your success and abundance. They've got in the way. They've stolen your dreams, your future, your life. They've sold you a lie which you've bought into. But they'll be the victim. You'll be the one that somehow exploited them. That's the malignant covert. The overt, you'll just probably be nuts in their story. They'll probably just frame you as not, because their ego won't let them be a victim. An overt narcissist won't, the ego. And again, don't get too caught up in the definitions of what flavour of ice cream are we dealing with. Does it really fucking matter? It's the same thing. Sorry for swearing, guys. I do get passionate. It's the same thing. Covert, overt, malignant, vulnerable. Let's not get in this gaslit industry of like getting caught up in the wrong things and get on with the right thing, which is healing and transformation and awareness and true consciousness. They do the same sequence. That there's so many common behaviors. It doesn't matter. The overt is an extrovert one and the covert is an introvert one. The overt is ego inflamed. Well, they're all ego inflamed. They're coming from unconsciousness and ego, but the overt one won't admit weakness in the same way as the covert one, which will fake weakness, fake vulnerability. That's why they're so hard to spot. That's why I didn't spot my ex, because they come out as vulnerable. And of course, what we're doing with narcissists is we're projecting our empathy, our hearts, our compassion on them. Yeah? Because we haven't fully realized there are people who are not like you at all. They can't compete where they don't compare. All they want to do is steal from you. All they want to do is put you in binds. You don't owe them anything. Even if they're saying you owe them stuff, spiritually you don't owe them anything. They've stolen way more. And to be honest, you've given way more to them than they've ever given to you. But anything they do for you, they'll try and make you feel guilty for. As if like, and it's so improportionate because you'd have given way more to them. It's all out of proportion. It's all rubbish. And it just defies the odds. They've got no accountability. They're petty. They're spiteful. They'll do anything, especially after they lose power over you, to try and sabotage you, demolish your name in some way. And all they do in the end is look like fools. Because if you can stay unattached, if you can claim your sovereignty, do come into sovereign if you can. It's a very powerful course. We don't talk a lot about narcissists. We come into you. That course is about the foundation that you can use to manage your nervous system, that you can use for the rest of your life. Coming into sovereign power, understanding what a source to self is, what self-partnering, self-parenting, yeah, and being your own sources, breaking the spells, breaking the chains, but not by focusing so much on them, by focusing on who you are, reclamation of self, healing heart, healing trauma, and then learning how to be a great manifester. Because part of the reason you're stuck is because you don't know how to manifest. And once we heal trauma, you can start creating your life. You start understanding quantum physics and how to manifest, then there's no stopping you, because you can connect to potential. You realize that you've lost a lot, and there's work I'm doing this week about grief and shame and forgiveness, so that we actually heal these parts. But then you realize that actually there's a potential that you can connect to in your life. And that's the piece you haven't got. And that's why you stay stuck as well, and you don't fully heal. So do contact me about Sovereign. The link's in the description. But yeah, the apology. What to know about the narcissist apology. It's fake. And it's a tool. It's a tool. They don't often apologize that easily. They'll often deflect it. It's one of the last things in their toolbox. When they've tried to trigger you, they've probably tried to love bomb you and hoover you again. It's after something's gone wrong. If nothing else is working, they'll do it. But they'll do it there's a spite in it with a narcissist. They'll do it because they know they're going to mess you around again. They build you up to break you down. And this is why your nervous system is in constant dysregulation. And even when you leave them, you'll notice that because your nervous system's now been trained to go through highs and lows without the stimulus, right? They're messing up your body, they're messing up your brain, they're messing up your future, they're messing up your now, and they are selling you a lie that's taken away from your purpose on the planet, which is just to be fulfilled, and yourself. They're stealing you from you. Break the spell. listen to what I'm saying, watch these videos. If you can join Sovereign, come in, because we're just starting module 3, but it's self-study, self-paced. It's not live trainings. You do it in your own time, but I'm in the group until April 17th if you have got comments supporting you. Lots of love, guys. I'll speak to you soon.